Welcome back to Overclocked, guys. I'm Brendan.
I'm your host. Oh.
I don't know where camera to look at.
All right, so today we got something a little special. We're in Studio Jank, Studio J.
Mom's basement.
I'm sweating because we were setting up this thing. So we got our special producer and cameraman, Daniel. And I don't know if we want to pan, but we got Milton. Thank you very much, guys.
We got a fourth helper this time,
He's
y'all.
saying no. He's saying no.
Yeah.
He don't got his makeup on, so we can't pan
As a
him.
matter of
He's
fact, just
truly
blur
behind
out
the
my
scenes.
nose.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even want to be known that I helped you guys with this.
Don't mention him. Don't even look at him.
It's like, this is embarrassing, to be honest.
We'll just
like
like black him out.
Yeah. Just don't look at him. He doesn't exist because that's kind of how it is in the industry. It's weird how people like will do that. Like when you have a talent and they'll just be like, not acknowledge that person and just sitting there staring him in the face for an hour. And it's just like,
All right, Daniel, what do you have for us?
Well,
'Cause we don't know.
Thought, hey, you guys are engineers, and
Are we?
I
Yeah, think so.
am a movie buff. So I thought, hey, you know, what'd be cool is if I figured out some practical effects that they've used throughout the years in movies and see if you engineers could figure out how they put it together.
Oh,
Gotcha.
So it's like a kind of quiz show type
A
of
little
situation.
quiz show.
yeah.
So what
Don't look
are
at my
we?
questions.
Is it like? Are we answering like a 1 or a 0 type of situation where it's like true or false, or are we going to be being?
Want us to
getting a little warmed up?
theorize and come up with
Theorize.
in our
Oh,
practical minds how we would accomplish that if we were given the task.
Wait, I have to use my brain.
Yes. More than
Like, this is my
more than we
lunch
do
break.
do so for our actual jobs. So
Oh shoot. Okay.
All right, you guys want to get started? Should we
sure.
start rolling through them? All right.
F yeah.
Here is the
Ooh,
clip.
Avatar.
Avatar.
Oh, I'm supposed to read.
And we have no audio.
This 2022 science fiction epic took audiences out of the jungles of Pandora and into its oceans. How do you believe they were able to accomplish the underwater shots?
CGI. Easy. Next.
Dang, how did they go underwater with those very nice cams?
Well, I mean, you guys know how they made the original Avatar, right?
Nope.
Okay,
Well,
maybe that's
assuming
the
it's not a fully CGI character,
it's motion capture.
it has to be motion cap.
Yes.
But from what you're telling me, it actually is shot underwater. That's one fact you can give me.
Is that a
It
clue?
is actually shot under real practical water. Yes.
Yes.
Holy.
Okay.
It was
So
the first movie.
They got
to
a garbage
ever do
bag
that.
over the camera.
it'd probably be a green suit and motion cap balls.
Okay. Is
Balls.
that final
Balls
answer?
and green suit, motion cap balls.
Motion cap balls.
Yeah.
So over
Yes.
here, for Avatar: The Way of Water, James Cameron and his team of VFX artists and engineers
See, look at all those
created a
balls.
special underwater performance
Motion
capture
cap
stage
balls.
with 2 sets of cameras above and below the water. Traditionally using infrared, these cams required ultraviolet and special
Whoa,
surface markers
dang.
to reflect light under the water without causing reflections of the motion capture suits. Additionally, the actors did not use breathing apparatuses and relied on free dive training to hold their breath
That's crazy.
for minutes at a time.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot to say this. I was thinking in my head, I was like, I think they have GoPros underwater. I don't think they brought like an actual
So the
like
GoPro,
DSLR
funny enough,
underwater.
for the motion capture, actually records the dots that are on their face, so that when they take it into the VFX at the end,
Yeah.
they're able to like manipulate their face.
Oh,
and track
okay.
their emotions better.
But
So they actually use GoPros for that.
oh,
Yeah,
And not
they
like a
they
red
usually have it on
or like a
helmet
RE
attached to a little
something.
arm, and then that GoPro just like.
that reminds me of that stuff when you go to the
because
dentist.
they're just using that just strictly for a motion capture reference, not as a
So they got
picture.
the full bodysuit.
But what
which
about the
is
dude recording what's going on underwater?
Those are like, so they have guys with ultraviolet cams
Oh.
underwater. Traditionally, they used infrared, right? Which
Yeah.
had a short throw, and underwater even shorter.
Right.
So they switched to ultraviolet. It was able to get a longer distance.
Nice. Getting
Interesting.
beamed with the ultraviolet.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's do.
So was I
2010.
right?
You were sort of right.
Yeah, half a point. Put the counter up.
Here
half
we go.
a point.
This 2010 science fiction thriller bent minds with its use of various practical effects
Ooh, Inception.
and composition. Oh my God!
Doesn't even know how to read.
In this fight scene, the equilibrium of the dreamer is affected by a car roll and fall, spinning them around and causing zero gravity in his dream world. How do you believe this was accomplished?
They green screen like the pulley stuff that's attaching to their bodies, or something like that. Like, they're attached to some sort of pulley, and then they can maybe like edit that out in post.
I think it depends on. I think there's multiple things going on here. I think there's certain shots where it probably actually is a tubular set that's rotating to do their running shots, close-ups. But when it comes to the fighting scenes, it's probably a stationary version of that, and the camera would be rotating, and they would be on probably a wire set that would eventually get greened out. Well, that'd be my best guess.
You're both right.
I know.
Oh, so it's the tubular and the...
It's both, because they actually separated it out.
See?
Here, I'll read this.
It took two brains to think of that, so yeah.
For Inception, Christopher Nolan and his team created rotating sets in an airplane hangar just outside London. There were multiple sets built, one to support wire rigging for the zero-gravity sequences and another for the 360 rotation shots. A camera was either fixed to the inside of the set or probed in using a jib arm.
Yep.
The hallway scenes took 3 weeks to shoot and required a lot of training.
Jib is so sick.
Also a feat. This effect was not new, as it had been done in movies before, like 2001: A Space Odyssey and The Lost World: Jurassic Park.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
We should do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we build that and work on it for 3 weeks?
Yeah, right. All
Just one of those for news.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 9 a.m. news. They're like
We're
rotating
flying
and
through
flipping.
a tunnel. I don't know.
The weather's looking kind of crazy right now.
All right, here's the next one.
Colombia.
Oh, come on. This 2006 action thriller revitalized a classic IP using minimal VFX but lots of stunts and practical effects. One of which is this scene with a controlled car crash. How do you believe it was accomplished?
Whoa! I didn't know they did that. That was they actually did that.
They actually did that.
Dang, like a real.
I know
Aston
they're
Martin.
using camera perspective and deal here, like making it look like it's closer than it actually is, just because of Hollywood wouldn't allow that type of safety to, if that was that close. But I think it would be a ramp, old school style, single-sided ramp with a really skilled driver and a calculated speed that they would hit that ramp perfectly, and then using probably a really big zoom lens and probably really far away, they would be able to get that perspective of the subject being so close to it, but she's actually really far away from it.
Oh, and so you're saying like when the camera's behind the car, it's
like the
stunt
shot we
driver,
saw, yeah.
It's the stunt driver, and then that's when they do that whole ramp shenanigans.
Well, if it's a practical effect and she's actually in the line of the car, insurance and practicality, they wouldn't allow that car to get so close.
Right, yeah.
So they would have to use a camera perspective in order to make it look like it was just right there.
And they're like super zoomed in.
Yeah, but the actual distance between the talent on the ground and the car flipping out and zooming around is probably way bigger.
I agree with that.
I will say this, that I think you're focusing too much on the person because there is actually a dummy.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you lied to me.
No, I didn't. No, they actually crashed the car, right? They actually crashed the car.
So now that we talked about that part, we need to figure out the car part. How did they? And you did address that with the ramp.
It's a ramp. It's
Yeah.
like
it's
every move.
just a ramp.
Yeah, doing two-wheel drive on cars is a normal stunt gag.
How about you? You got
Stuff.
anything? For
Car
the
drivers.
Man.
Just because look at all
Just
the
a
movies from the
ramp?
70s and 80s that did that.
Just a ramp. All right,
We're going. I'm gonna go with ramp because my brain can't
then
think of anything else.
You actually can see underneath that freaking
Run it back.
Aston Martin is all flat ground, all those plates in there. Those were made so it could hit that ramp. You don't
Run it
put that
back.
in there just because it looks
frame by frame.
During the filming of Casino Royale, the main unit was busy directing the Miami airport
how is that not a
scenes
ramp? It's a
with
ramp.
Daniel Craig and the second unit team while they were back in England, comprising the DBS car flip sequence. They started with a ramp and sending test cars over it, but they wouldn't flip it, so special effects supervisor Chris Corbold and his team installed an air cannon that had pressurized nitrogen to fire a ram under the car. This worked, and when it came to perform the stunt on the real $200,000 DBS, they were not only successful but broke a world record for the most cannon rolls ever completed in a car.
Oh,
This next one should be a favorite. This 2001
hell yeah.
fantasy epic.
Dude, when you said that, Lord of the Rings was in my head when you said this is a favorite. I was like,
This
I think I know
2001
this one.
fantasy epic took practical
still
and
good.
visual effects to a whole new level.
It's still good.
And is considered a timeless classic. In many scenes like this one, hobbits interacted alongside human-like characters. How do you believe this was accomplished?
I was actually, we were talking about
We
it
were
in your
talking
office,
about
and
this,
it's a perspective type of thing, where it's like the person who's supposed to be small is way far away, and the person who's supposed to be big is closer to the camera. And I think they made actual props that were like super huge to accommodate for some of like the weird things that you would see in the perspective thing that they were doing.
it was both too, because they would actually also use talent, so they would actually have like really big people and small people.
Yeah.
And so
To help
depending on
enhance
what
the
shot, if you can't use that perspective, you need a close-up shot, then they would probably change complete talent or props or whatever.
Yeah, that one is awesome.
It's easy.
All right. Lock in.
Locking it in. The answer
Locking
right
it
there.
in.
How many points do we have? I don't know.
I don't know. There's a scoreboard.
Yeah.
In The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Peter Jackson took forced perspective to a whole new level, using track for camera rigs and set pieces that move simultaneously for a seamless look. Other tricks used were building identical sets as at different measurements and using post-compositing to mesh the shots together. So, for example, like in The Shire, the Hobbit house,
Yeah.
Bilbo's house, they built I think like 2 different sets for that. One that was Hobbit sized and one that was
Human sized.
Human sized.
Yeah.
And then obviously for some of the scenes where Gandalf is in the house, like drinking the tea, like I showed you, there's actually like a split in the table, and it moves.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Gandalf
I know. I just saw
on
that
it.
in the video.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I actually when
They're
I,
all in sync, right?
they're all in
Yeah.
sync, yeah. And what's really cool is actually Gandalf lifts the pot top off for him to pour into it.
Yeah.
It's actually on a stick, and the little pot lid is right here, so he grabs it off
That's
this
funny.
little stick.
Imagine being the guy that was holding that stick. It's just like, I was Gandalf's teapot stick holder for Lord of the
one
Rings
scene.
production.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah, for real. Not appreciated enough.
All right.
I really like shoot, what was it? I really like that it's like when you take all the post VFX out, it's like they're just sitting on a wooden chair.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How did they do that?
It,
Like in
it
post,
actually
that's
still
another
kinda bends
aspect.
my mind, yeah,
Is
to
the
look
post-
at it.
That reminded me of a lot of like the old school practical effects stuff. If you look, how they used to do that in perspective, and especially with size like that, kind of reminds me of those old techniques probably coming through.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense, man. Whoa. Whoa.
Is this Speed
This
now?
1997 science fiction action
hell
adventure
yeah.
sequel perfected
Spielberg.
the art of making CGI and practical effects, or mixing them. In this scene, the full body of a T-Rex smashed the side of a moving bus. How do you believe this was accomplished?
I think we can go back to like the on rails type of situation where they're having like obviously they don't have a full blown model dinosaur, but they have something to be able to track its movement, and then in post then they can smash the two together, add like those sparks and stuff to make it more dramatic, and maybe that's how they did it, and then they can
No, but this is 97 though.
I will
Practical
say
effects would be a
this-
bit more in play than
This bus is
CG.
real. It
the
is.
bus is real.
The bus is
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm thinking it's probably like a homemade like animatronic off a tractor or something that they made it look like that and were able to smash it in, or it became pre-smash and they had 2 different buses to where one of them was a quick frame cut to the smash, and then it would just be a regular bus maybe. Be my best guess. It would be animatronic for sure.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, it was still in late 90s and CG wasn't as prominent yet.
This was definitely like I would say, 3rd or 4th most successful CGI movie
Yeah.
ever made.
So, I mean, the first Jurassic Park came out in 95, and that was like one of the major first things.
Yeah.
A lot of things, actually.
And that kind of, in this one, they took it to that next level by mixing a lot more practical effects with the visual effects, which is exactly what they did. In the Lost World Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg and his visual effects team performed a complicated sequence of a computer-generated T-Rex smashing a real moving bus. It was modified with pneumatics and retracting rams to crush in the side and bounce it on two wheels, as well as air cannons to blast glass out of the window. The T-Rex
Whoa,
was
that's
then
so cool.
added
Yeah,
in
it is
post. Yeah.
So it imploded itself.
Okay, so you're the
Technically.
tractor. I mean the. Holy
Wow.
And they got the people in time with that too.
Yeah.
So it was like the opposite of smashing it. They actually like pulled it in.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
And then to do multiple takes.
I want to say how many
obviously.
takes did they actually got with
I
that?
think it was. I think
we
they
got
got
one
it done
chance
on
on
the
it.
first.
They have to, because how are you going to reset that whole? You have to probably
But
do
they
it to a
did
whole
talk
new
about
bus.
that. They were
Reset
like,
it.
you know, hey, we need to be able to reset the rig if we needed to,
Like,
and that would
this-
require them to like basically like
Move the whole system to a new
pretty
bus,
much.
right? Yeah,
Pretty much.
that's
Wow.
crazy.
This 1991
Let's go.
science fiction horror sequel was chock
this
full of
movie so
CGI
good.
shots, but in this scene was almost entirely practical. How do you believe they broke apart and exploded this character?
oh shoot.
It's probably made from that special effects, like sugar glass stuff. It's probably like a form model of that, and they blew it up with something.
Can you replay it? Is this whole body?
It'll
in
probably
frame
be a
as
mix of CG, and then when you see this scene where it actually crumbles, would be like a copy of that, probably from
Yeah.
that Hollywood.
Okay, so they don't show his whole body when he's breaking his leg. So yeah, I think it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
That
it's
sugar
like,
glass is called sugar glass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you it's like a
And you
whole
can
body
crunch
form.
it and eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like literally sugar.
So you're saying that they ate the
They could have. Dude,
They
that'd
ate
be
him
awesome.
after.
Imagine
He
that.
said hasta la vista.
Yeah.
And start eating.
Crunch.
Just start putting them on sticks and then just wrapping them,
John.
handing them out.
Have some brittle, some T1000
Would it-
brittle.
Yeah.
What did they shoot his model body with? What do you think?
I don't know.
A cannonball.
It probably was. I don't know. It depends on the explosion. If it crumbles, then
He like breaks into little tiny pieces.
I
I
don't know,
will
but
say,
play that
look,
again.
look really closely at this. I had to watch it frame by frame. But you
oh
see,
yeah, it explodes. So it'd probably be like a
Inside.
pneumatic explosion, or maybe like a small explosive that they use, because you
Okay.
could see the plumes coming out, like in sections out his back when he did
Like you're
that.
saying they put it inside of the model.
Yeah, it's probably in the back, and it blew up, and then
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I think the big giveaway I think is because his whole body isn't on frame for him to his legs to fall apart. It's like, oh, let me zoom into your ankle here, and it's like up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys are pretty much right. In Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Robert Patrick was covered
Nice.
in shredded Christmas tree tinsel and sprayed with fake snow to create the frosted look. They started with the feet and
Whoa.
ended with the head, creating the illusion that the frost was consuming him. As the T-1000 breaks apart, his legs and arms, they replaced Robert with a double amputee stunt double
Whoa.
who wore prosthetic ligaments. Robert Patrick returned for the handbrake portion using a jacket with a cable-controlled false arm. To blow up the liquid nitrogen frozen T-1000, Stan Winston's team filled a dummy with metallic flakes and vacuum-metallized urethane foam shards. The effect team blew it apart with primer cord and an air motor cannon. So basically, what they
was
did
close.
for that, yeah, you guys were pretty much on the nose.
Just didn't know what material he was made out of.
When he actually exploded, I watched this part frame by frame. He would have exploded like out in every direction, but there's an air motor cannon above
That
him.
pushes it down,
that
right?
pushes
Because you
it
didn't want
down.
to push out; you wanted it to
Right.
crumble.
And so, like, the primer explodes, but then the air cannon pushes everything down.
Oh, I didn't really
That's
notice
cool.
that part.
It was
yeah.
quite fascinating. This one's actually a really fun one. This 1984 science fiction horror movie captivated audience with the
This is a science
audience's-
fiction horror movie. Terminator
with the
is a
latest
science fiction
visual
horror
effects, most of which were practical. In this scene, Arnold Schwarzenegger punches through a windshield of a moving car. How do you believe this was accomplished?
movie. He just punched it. He's
It's
fucking
not-
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Was he on that? I mean, was he on that stuff when he did this? No. I'm pretty
No,
sure the
actually,
windshield has to be
no.
a modified windshield.
No, they actually got Chuck Norris in to
No,
actually do
no,
this stunt double because
no.
it's Chuck Norris. It's like, you know,
People younger than me, I don't know if they're gonna get that.
Oh, on that stuff.
Yeah,
It's not for them.
Is he him?
I know the
Yeah,
windshield.
he is him.
It can't be a regular windshield. It has to be a modified. windshield.
From that look, it looks like a cellophane window. To be honest, like it was plastic
Oh.
cellophane, and he just punched it.
it's like hecka layers of.
Yeah, just heck of layers, and
yeah.
then so
Well,
when
you do have to
when you
think
punch
that
it and
this-
it crunches up, it kind of gives you that quick illusion of quick frame like that.
You got to think though that this is James Cameron, and James Cameron, like we saw with Avatar, with the other Terminator, movie,
Yeah.
like doesn't cut corners.
No, he probably maybe he'd have iron brass knuckles on or something. He just actually punched it out a window,
Oh yeah, what's that thing that police use when they hit the corner of the
Oh,
glass?
yeah, yeah.
a strike or something.
Striker. Yeah, maybe he had that
right on
like
the-
tucked in. and
Or
it's like-
it most likely has to be a specialized windshield because
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
car windshields. I mean, depending on the year, I don't know though because it's an old car in the '80s. I would need to know. That didn't kick in until like mid '90s, having that required on cars to where you could only have like, it has a special coating on it to where it's only one way. It prevents
Oh,
things from
yeah.
going in. Like going out, it's fine, but like it prevents, like a rock or something from going through. That's why it shatters that way. So it'd have to be a specialized glass. He actually just punched it with brass knuckles.
Okay. In James Cameron's The Terminator, the stunt team and visual effects teams gosh, can't read this for the life of me. In James Cameron's The Terminator, the stunt team and visual effects comprised a very intricate setup to break a real windshield involving a mechanical arm attached to a ram, which was incredibly heavy, too heavy for it to be attached to a moving vehicle.
That's actually
So
kinda awesome.
they used a truck driving by with fake brick and lights to simulate the car moving in reverse.
That's awesome.
Oh,
So the car was never actually
So
moving.
it's just the background is moving.
I'm just liking that hydraulic fist they installed.
That
That's
is
pretty
sick.
sick.
And then
Yeah.
they put his jacket over it and everything, so it like
Yeah.
moves with him.
It
thought
actually
you-
looks like a Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were about to say they installed cybernetics into his arm, and he just,
They actually
Yeah.
turned
He is
Arnold
cybernetic.
Schwarzenegger into a real Terminator for
Yeah.
this movie, which is why he returned for the sequels.
yeah, we should have got that hint
He
about
said he'll
you
be
saying
back
James
for a
Cameron.
reason.
Yeah, I'd be back.
All right, we'll wrap it up with a Goldie and an oldie.
I was just looking at that. 1984 is when I was born.
1984, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
This
goat.
1977 science fiction classic defined the next generation of visual effects. In these scenes,
Easy
there are
transition.
two unique setups to portray a hovering vehicle. How do you believe they were accomplished?
Mirrors.
It was
Mirrors.
Miwas? Miwas?
Mirrors.
I actually don't know this one, so
It is. It's mirrors.
Okay.
They use mirrors.
Well, for this shot, yes.
Oh, well, what's the other one we don't know?
Well, so the shots where he's getting into it or out of it.
He's on a freaking bed of a.
It's probably like a forklift version of that car. It's just on a forklift.
Yeah.
It's just
And that's
the
how
back
it's
of it
moving
is
up
there.
and
That's why
down.
that angle is so extreme, and so you can't see like what the actual forklift is.
Yeah, you could barely see like not even like a third of the,
Yeah,
of
it's
the
like you
vehicle
barely
on
see
that.
it. It's like how is it not hanging on something else or a jib or something?
I think it's on a bed of something or on a forklift, like Tim
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Luke Speeder
Could.
from Star Wars A New Hope was designed around a real three-wheeled car dubbed the Bond Bug.
That's awesome.
To give the illusion of it hovering in lower wide shots, they used a mirror to cover the wheels and reflect the desert. But in the close-ups, where only one side of the speeder is on screen, they
Nice.
attached it to a crane and counterbalanced
A
by the
merry-go-round.
crew.
Merry-go-round.
Nice.
That's so cool. I want to know about how they built the set too. That looks so cool.
The set for
Like just the background of that. That was like, I mean, I know there's a
like
desert.
Mos Eisley.
I know they're in a
Yeah.
desert, but it's like they built like the little houses and stuff. It's so
Yeah, isn't
cool.
that
It is cool.
isn't that all in Southern California or used to be?
The farm that's underground is a real place. I just don't remember where. I know it's not in Southern California. I think it's somewhere else.
All right, we appreciate you guys for watching. That's gonna be our idea.